All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be doing a death battle reaction again. It has been a while, but I want to do one. And this is the newest one, Bleach versus Yu Yu Hakusho, Ichigo versus Yusuke. Now, I am a big fan of Bleach. I love it to pieces, and Ichigo is the GOAT. So, I will be rooting for him in this one. I don't know anything about Yu Yu Hakusho other than Hiei rules. That's all or wait, no, is it Hiei? I think so. I'm trying to remember all the details because I think there was one with like Sasuke and Hiei, and I think he's from Yu, but I could be wrong. I could be, thinking of another anime, and if I am terribly sorry if I offend you. But at this point, it's already been done. So let's jump right in and let's see what we can do. Here we go.
Ichigo
All
Kurosaki
right.
versus Yusuke Urameshi.
All right, let's do it.
Substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the Spirit Detective of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Spirit
He's with
Detective.
my boomstick.
That's an
And
interesting
it's our
title.
job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
A death battle.
Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
Don't want to think about it. Don't want to think about it.
Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods
Ah.
of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my
Okay.
second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society.
Works
Yes.
great till it doesn't. Enter
Yeah.
Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number
Yeah.
one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief,
Yeah.
young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
He's
So he
5'11",
lashed out the only way
29
he knew
years
how,
old.
beating
Jesus.
people up.
But this wound
Yeah.
began to heal when he found his calling. Upon meeting a
Even
Shinigami
before he got
named
his sword, he
Rukia.
swung
To
hands.
stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami.
Yeah.
To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can
Yes.
wield vast amounts of spiritual energy called Ryoku and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure or Reiatsu.
Okay,
Yes.
that's a lot of big words, but all it really means is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, he can stun lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even
Yeah.
fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense
All
and
right.
leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed boosting
this
skills
is all
like
like
Shupo,
the-
he can virtually fly.
Say
Yeah.
goodbye to the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money, and hello to the town's new superhero with fellow Ghostbusters Orihime, Chad,
Yep.
and Uryu. Plus Rukia.
Uryu.
It was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe
Yeah.
a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's
Yes.
basically a super-powered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost
Oh man, I
sword.
remember that
Though
art.
strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits.
Yes.
Both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him
Just a pretty convoluted storyline. Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen it, apparently Ichigo has 4 sides of this. He has full bring, and he also has human and hollow and Quincy energy, while also being a human. So he has 5 sides to him. 5. So having the powers of of essentially a soul reaper, a full bringer, a hollow, a Quincy, and somehow human as well. Like it's actually kind of funny to think about. Because I mean, the writers were like, yeah, so you have power on all degrees because your mother was a Quincy who actually almost became a hollow, so therefore had hollow powers that were passed down to her, well, passed down to you. And the Soul Reaper, if I'm not mistaken, was also technically a full bringer, maybe? I can't remember all the details, which was his dad. But 2 sides came from the mom, and I think a side or 2 came from the dad, and it kind of just made him as, everything. It's kind of funny to think about.
Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu.
Yep.
Anyway, the double ghost sword
The
gives
old man is
Ichigo
actually
lots
Quincy.
of new moves, including his trademark attack, the sword beam to end all sword beams.
Yes.
Getsuga Tensho!
Love a
Getsuga
Getsuga
Tensho is
Tensho.
incredibly powerful and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants.
Yes, he
can
did.
fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the
Jujisho.
biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame
Yeah.
1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more
Yeah.
involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya
Oh,
guy's
yeah.
so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the
Yep.
music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So
Yep.
Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master.
Yep.
Kai! In
Yep.
Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag
Bankai.
Byakuya.
It
Even in
needs-
Shikai, he blocked
it
an
needs
attack
that
that could
pause.
destroy the
Make
whole
it so
friggin'
much
Soul
better.
Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a
Oh,
teenager,
yeah.
he mastered swordsmanship well
So-
enough to thrash experts who had been training for
Let's look and see here. True Shikai obviously manifests to Zanpakuto, so they're using the true Shikai form of his with his newest arc from Thousand Year Blood War. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Half Hollow, obviously. You get the fusion of Shinigami, Hollow, and Quincy powers. Okay, so they're putting it all three together. High speed regeneration and the Cero Crescente. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. If I'm not mistaken, the Cero is supposed to be like, isn't that stuck to his Vasto Lorde form? Like, are they going to go through that form? The other forms: Hollow Mask, Full Hollow, Full Bring Shikai and Bankai, Skullclad, and Final Getsuga Tensho Mugetsu. Okay. The problem is if he goes to Final Getsuga Tensho and he doesn't finish it off, this is going to be a very quick ended fight. Oh boy.
centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like
He
when
has.
took on Catboy Grimjow. He was getting
Oh,
clapped, but
yeah.
as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
Oh
You
yeah.
mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character
Nice
energy,
joke.
Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With
No,
just a
not
finger,
yet.
Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song, Rude.
Ichigo
Yeah,
needed
that's
to
that's
tap into
anime
his
rule
unexplained
number
hollow
one.
power.
Don't mess
Except
with the theme.
Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old Man Zang's
Oh,
pretty
no.
chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still,
Oh, yeah.
Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up,
Yep.
he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal
Oh,
off
wait,
slaves.
yeah.
But
Whenever
piss him
he's,
off enough and he'll go
he's going
full hollow,
closer to
and
full
you
hollow?
really don't want that.
Hollowification
Oh,
exceeds
no.
even Bankai and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world
Yeah.
of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help
That
from
is
his
crazy.
secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement.
Oh,
He
yeah.
manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura,
Showed
and flexed
him-
so hard he smashed out of the
he
black
showed him
coffin,
who the
which
main
crushes
character is.
space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to
Yeah.
Normieville.
Ichigo
Back
never
to
truly
normal.
realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The
That
power
badge,
to protect others,
jeez.
his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise
Yeah.
assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yuhabak.
Who planned
Yep.
to end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was
Yep.
a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence,
Ah,
his two
there we
Sanbakuto
go.
spirits, one Quincy, the other Hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yuhabak's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood
So he
himself,
was
fully
both.
unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. Er,
Yep.
Dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yhwach, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up
Okay,
with Soul
so
King
let's
power.
read that little box up here. So it says, Yubak stated, True Shikai Ichigo regained the power he used to defeat Aizen, insinuating that he reached or surpassed his prior peak. Okay, so he's at least stronger than that time that he trained for forever and ever.
Yhwach could nuke all 3 realms, the human world, Soul
Okay.
Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of
boy.
disrupting the flow of souls. Yhwach was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo
Uh-huh.
still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack, the Gran Rey Sero.
Making a
Gran
giant
Rey
crescent
Sero.
slash that rips through space itself.
All
Oh
that power
my.
culminating in his true Bankai.
True
a power
Bankai.
so great, even Yhwach was scared of it.
Joke's on you.
You should
Ichigo
be.
didn't even need it. You're done.
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer
Alright.
his fears, and walk onward.
All right, I am very excited for this. That
Most
means this is the
teenagers
strongest
have no idea
possible
what they want to do with their
Ichigo we
life.
can get.
However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only
Urameshi.
ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands. It don't matter who the ops are, be they
Oh,
women,
yeah.
old folk, or babies. Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front
Wait,
of a speeding
he was a
car
ramen
to save
salesman?
a child.
That's actually kinda
bringing
funny.
that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Okay.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
But this is chapter
Well.
1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
Oof.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine
Okay.
being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down.
So the underworld
Oof.
surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife.
Okay.
A spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally,
Okay,
Yusuke
that makes
did what
sense.
anyone would do in that situation, and told Satan Jr. to stuff it. I mean, he was
Oof.
never really good for anything, and no one was gonna miss him. So what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken,
Oh,
or even his
boy.
rival Kuwabara would shed manly tears. Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted
Okay.
Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability. In his
Yes.
quest to beat the dog shit out of demon kind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki.
Wait, I was right, wasn't I?
spirit
I think that was
He's
Hiei.
ridiculously strong, fast, and durable. Heals from wounds quickly, and
In
can
his,
see
I think it
spirits
was, what,
invisible to
Jigan
mortal men.
form?
Even early on, Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he
Okay.
mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to
Spirit
smithereens.
gun,
My
spirit shotgun,
favorite
spirit
shonen
wave,
move
spirit
ever,
punch,
the
gold energy.
spirit
Okay.
gun. At first, Yusuke had a
actually kinda
limited number
cool.
of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal
Yep, that was Hiei.
WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun is more versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a spirit shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a
Okay.
spirit punch where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the spirit wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke
Okay,
may be a
so
punk,
essentially
but
he's a
deceptively
brawler.
skilled and cunning in
So
battle.
it's a
He's not
swordsman
afraid
versus
to
a
fight
brawler.
dirty. throwing his shoes, using sleight
Yeah.
of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart. And his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret
Well.
is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies.
Ah.
Even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons
Okay.
and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
A and
Oh,
D
boy.
class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A
Okay.
and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as
Yep.
his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he
I love
couldn't beat,
Hiei.
such as the monstrous
Dude
Toguro,
is a
who
goat.
could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke
Okay.
needed to survive and protect his loved ones. So he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant
All right.
absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has
Okay.
an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules
Let's
per
see
second.
what we're doing
Small
here.
stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Ooh.
Enough to send
Okay.
Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past
Okay.
spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui
All
was
right.
so yoked, he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared
Okay.
destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai,
Oh
Yusuke
my.
could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like
Um.
King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as
I
balls.
have a feeling
In the
that this
past,
is not
he
gonna
fought
go
the
well
Netherworld King Yakumo,
for,
who could eradicate the entire human world and
I don't know.
remake
I don't
the
know how this is
Netherworld.
gonna
But
go.
Yusuke's power surpassed both of them, to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-class
So
like
the
Sensui,
question
whose sacred
is-
energy was 10 times his superior.
But
Is it
not
gonna
for long,
be
sucker, 'cause turns out
a matter
Yusuke
of
was
their
a demon
ability?
himself.
Is it going to
Literally,
be a
Yusuke
matter
is the
of
descendant
power?
of an ancient and incredibly powerful being. One
Or
of
is it
the
going to be a matter of
strongest in
abilities?
existence,
Like, what are we
Ryzen,
talking
The
here?
Demon King.
With his Bazoku mark, Yusuke
Okay.
can channel Ryzen's spirit for a huge power boost and a
Okay.
massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste
Oh,
of a
boy.
dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike
Okay.
normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable
Okay.
feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong
Okay.
enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But
Okay.
as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection?
Okay.
From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even
Okay.
achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form separate from Ryzen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's secret energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the
Okay.
Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though.
Okay.
Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I
Ah,
wouldn't piss
okay.
him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Alright, he's a pretty cool guy.
Long has its return been foretold.
Oh, boy.
But now, finally, it is reborn.
The original Death Battle shirt that once dominated the world.
Okay.
Hell yeah, there's no better way to wear a blood spatter on your chest.
We've restored the original shirt with even better materials.
All right.
And it's available now on deathbattle.gg. That's our website that's also kind of like a Patreon.
There's a bunch of other merch there, like this awesome Mega Goose hoodie. Just don't let the gooses get it.
Website members can also see the entire Death Battle archive, including episodes that were banned from YouTube.
And even more behind-the-scenes goodies. Like, did you know our research team wrote up a massive blog all about the science of Ash versus Yugi? Wait, I lied. They wrote up 2.
Click the link below to support the show, look behind the scenes, and get cool merch at deathbattle.gg.
Alright, that seems cool. I need to figure out a way to get merch for myself at some point. But anyways, let's look at this.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
I'm rooting for Ichigo. I hope he does not let me down. Please do not let me down, Ichigo. Let's see where we go with this. Ichigo, you better stomp this kid's face in.
That's a demon. That's a hollow. No doubt about it.
Oh boy. Soundtrack's already great. Already boxing. Okay. Ichigo's only in his base form, and so is... Oh my god. This is gonna be so difficult. Please do not let me down, Ichigo. Don't! Bro, that's playing dirty! Oh boy. Yeah! Hollow interference.
Chump change. Reckless idiot!
Yeah, you just destroyed a soul.
Demon energy got you scared? Nah.
He's not scared.
Getsuga! Jujisho! Two at once?
Jujisho.
Damn, why didn't I think of that?
That's actually kind of cool.
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together.
Hell no! This is my fight, jackass! You just told me back!
Oh boy. So now he decides to go to his form. Alright, he's got a quick little... Okay.
Rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner?
Let's do it. Like old times.
Bankai. Now we're in. It's true Bankai. Come on, let's do this. Come on, Ichigo.
That's the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like.
Nice little reference.
Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole!
They're having such a good time.
I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same!
Oh boy.
Screw that!
Here we go. That is way stronger than what it was. Come on! Yes!
Give me a freaking break.
If I'm not mistaken.
On the other side.
Yes! That's my boy.
Think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters.
He has to be
starting
way
with their
stronger.
abilities.
He has to
They
be
could
way
see Ichigo
stronger.
no problem, and resist auras like Taguro's that are similar to Reiatsu. So
Okay.
Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise,
Alright.
Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better
Okay.
healing factor, greater
Yeah.
stamina given his months of Dongai training.
And all those
Alright.
swords. He just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise,
Oh, yeah.
speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on, and obviously got much faster over time.
All
Looking
right.
at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo
Yeah,
was faster
Ichigo's
than
way
light from
faster
the
than
start,
light.
and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya
Yeah,
at
this
first, but
this is
blitzed
a
him
little
in
bit
the
of a
rematch.
stomp,
Plus,
isn't
he's
it?
got
Oh
tons
no.
of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak
He
that
would literally
utilized the
speed
same power.
blitz
So,
Yusuke. That is
Ichigo
oh
takes
my
speed.
god.
But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's
Okay,
extremely
okay.
important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
All right.
This is kind of both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's
Okay.
pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same
No,
way.
it's not.
So both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's
All
fair
right.
to call this one a draw.
Yeah, let's
Leaving
just call
only
it a
the
draw.
biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma,
All right.
Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky
Yeah,
splitting
I
clash with
think
Yomi
Ichigo
and
could
measuring
probably
in scale,
destroy
that's about 4
most of his
quadrillion
reality.
megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly,
crazy.
mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is far more
Oh,
impressive than just
boy.
one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time. Pretty close to Yuhabak's threat.
Okay, okay.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3
Maybe.
realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo,
But no, it's not.
Yuhabak was also going to destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each
Yeah.
containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized worlds. Plus,
Okay.
Ichigo matched Yuhabak in True Shikai, without his
All
additional
right.
boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way. But the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the
There we
final
go.
edge.
Pretty much a
Sorry
stomp.
if things got messy, but that's just how Ichigo's.
The winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
Yeah, my boy won.
Next
Now,
time
who's
on
next?
Death Battle.
Who is next? Wait. Is it seriously Metal Sonic again? Oh my god, it's Metal Sonic again. Against... Wait, is that Cell?
Subscribe and join as a member to see more
Okay,
Death Battle.
okay.
Thanks for
Okay.
watching.
This is
Death
gonna be
Battle
really
is
cool.
back, and so is our new tabletop gaming channel, Nightly.
Alright, cool, whatever. But, hold on a minute. Metal Sonic versus Cell. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't it have been much funnier to put, like, Shadow against Cell, in a sense? I mean, they both think they're the ultimate life form. It would have been actually kind of funny. But I think Shadow's already been in a couple of death battles. Wait, no, hold on. Let me see here. If I'm not mistaken, he's been... Let's see. Shadow versus... Okay, so he's been in one with Ryuko. He's been in one with Mewtwo and Vegeta. Okay. So, essentially, Shadow's been here for a minute. Okay, so I guess they're gonna do Metal Sonic. So, let's see. Did Metal Sonic have a prior one? So, we'll do Metal Sonic. Oh, Metal Sonic versus Zero. From the Mega Man games. Okay. So, he's only had one instance. Okay. So, before we get any further, let's look at this prediction.
Even the ultimate life form can't stop me.
So, Cell, Metal Sonic, Durability Cell, Intelligence Metal Sonic, Battle IQ Perfect Cell, Combat Perfect Cell, Agility. So, essentially, what people are saying right now is that it's Metal Sonic. Ah, this is gonna be hard. People are predicting Metal Sonic wins this one. I genuinely don't know. I mean, unless Metal Sonic can hit at least like over planetary, like if he can at least hit like maybe close to multiplanetary, he might be able to beat Cell. But he'd also have to figure out where Cell's regeneration core is. That's gonna be, it could actually do that. All right, now I'm actually curious. I want to know about this death battle. But anyways, guys, hope you all have a great rest of your day. And as always, I will see you in the next one.